So they have a very nice job. I don't play that drum, so I don't know. I have no point of reference. I think it was probably okay. Yeah. All right. Well, they have a nice name for people in Ireland who can play with drums, because the drums are made out of goat skin. People in Ireland who can play them well are known as goat whackers. Lovely thing to be called. So we're going to do a song. Speaking of Ireland, we're going to do a little something from Ireland. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Once upon a time, in the very far north of Ireland, there lived a giant. The giant's name was Finn McCool, and he was very cool. He was the tallest, the strongest, and the mightiest of all the giants in Ireland. One day, Finn decided that he was going to build a bridge made of stone that would take him across the big blue sea all the way from Ireland to Scotland. But building the bridge made him very tired, so he decided to go back to Ireland and take a nap. After his nap, Finn was enjoying a lovely cup of tea with his wife, Una, when all of a sudden they heard a rumbling, trembling, booming noise coming from the Scottish side of the new bridge. It was Benandonner, greatest and most terrible of all the Scottish giants. Benandonner was twice as tall as Finn McCool, and that was when he was sitting down. Seeing Finn's new bridge, Benandonner decided that this was the perfect opportunity to cross into Ireland and take care of that puny little Irish giant, Finn McCool. Finn's wife, Una, said, "Oh, Finn, here comes that giant Benandonner to fight with you. Now, Benandonner is stronger than you are, but he's not very smart. So this is what we're going to do. Quick and jump into the baby's cradle. Put the baby's little bonnet on your head, and pull the baby's blanket all the way up to your chin, and then leave everything else to me." Finn obeyed immediately. He jumped into the baby's cradle, he put that frilly baby's bonnet on his head, and he pulled the baby's blanket right up to his big chin. Una ran into the kitchen and began to mix up a new batch of bread. Then she took a lump of butter, rolled it around in some black boot polish, and formed a lumpy gray ball. This she placed on a pile of rocks by the hearth and sat down to wait. Benandonner approached the house. He knocked 3 times. Una opened the door. "Well, hello and good day, and what can I do for you?"
"I'm Benandonner, the greatest and most terrible of all the Scottish giants, and I have come to fight Finn McCool."
"Oh, of course you have. Well, I'm afraid that Finn is not home right now, but you can come in and wait for him. I have some fresh bread right out of the oven."
"Ah, thank you, I will. I'm very hungry."
And he followed her inside and sat down at the kitchen table. Una ran into the kitchen and pulled 2 fresh loaves of bread out of the oven. One of them had an iron frying pan baked in the center of it. This one she gave to Benandonner. "Here's a lovely loaf of Finn's favorite bread for you to eat." He took it from her and bit into it. Instantly, his teeth hit the frying pan inside and cracked. "Oh no! Is Finn's favorite bread a little bit too hard for you to eat, Benandonner?"
"A little bit too hard. My teeth are all broken."
How strange. strange. You see, even Finn's little tiny baby loves to eat that bread all the time. Watch this. She brought the other regular soft loaf of bread over to Finn, who was still lying in the cradle. He took it from her and gobbled it all up. Ben and Donner was shocked. Why, if Finn McCool's little baby could even eat Una's rock-hard bread without breaking all his teeth, what was going on?
So tell me, how does Finn McCool become so strong?
Well, you see, Finn likes to build up his strength by squeezing water out of rocks.
Squeezing water out of rocks.
Yes. Don't you do that in Scotland?
No.
Well, why don't you try it? You see the little ones in the corner? Those rocks are for practicing. Why don't you try one of those? He grabbed one of the rocks and squeezed. Try as he might, he couldn't get a single drop of water out of it. How strange. You see, even Finn's little tiny baby can't easily squeeze water out of those practice rocks. Watch this. And she brought the lump of butter over to Finn, lying in the cradle. Why don't you squeeze this rock for Mama now, dear? He took it in his hand and squeezed. Instantly, it began to drip to the floor. Ben and Donner was shocked.
This is the strength of the little baby. How strong must the father be? I'm going back to Scotland.
And with that, he took off back across the bridge, tearing it apart as he went, so that Finn would never follow him home to Scotland. And to this day, you can still see what is left of that bridge, the Giant's Causeway in County Ulster, Northern Ireland. And as for Finn and his wife Una, they lived happily ever after. I'd like to thank all of you so much for coming to the concert right now. Could we